you guys doing today? It's Anthony Gangi. Welcome to another episode of On the Line. Guys, it's cold. I'm in northern New Jersey. It's like 16 or 15 degrees out. You know, I received an email. I said to Gangi, what does it mean to be firm, fair, and consistent? And a thought came to my head, why not do 3 videos on this? One on being firm, one on being fair, one on being consistent. What does that really mean? I mean, really, what does that mean to you? So today what I thought I could do is talk about being consistent. Now, guys, being firm, fair, and consistent is great advice. I got that at the beginning of my career, and it echoes every day. But I thought we could start with being consistent. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? What does that mean to me? So for me, first off the bat, on a personal level, being consistent is me knowing who I am when I enter that wall. Knowing who I am before I enter that wall. Knowing who I am in general. Being consistent provides me with a good foundation. And in order for me to be consistent, I have to be honest with myself. And the cool thing about being consistent and being honest with myself and knowing who I am, that helps me provide a level of consistency to my peers, to the inmates, to the agency. That means they'll know what to expect from me. Also, more importantly, I'll know what to expect from myself. So that's one level of being consistent. That's on a personal level. So again, great piece of advice, being firm, fair, consistent. But to add on that, part of the consistency is to be yourself. Don't lose that sense of self. Have that as a great foundation. Second part of it, because there's a greater level here of being consistent, is kind of on an operational level. Sometimes I've had partners that we just work in total opposites, total extremes. And it becomes so divisive. Inmates kind of get in the middle and they kind of play us as, you know, parents that are just not on the same page. Like daddy says no, mommy will say yes, mommy will say no, daddy will say yes, and we're just not running in sync. And it turns out that when we're not doing that, we're not being consistent, well, inmates are going to play us. Hell, inmates may even divide us. So the cool thing is to have a partner and to talk to your partner and see what you guys expect from each other so you're able to keep that level of consistency. So not only do the inmates know what to expect from you, but you guys know what to expect from each other. And on another level, consistency between shifts. All shifts should operate in that same manner of consistency, which means what I expect from first shift officer, I should also expect from the second shift officer. I should also expect from the third shift officer, if there's 3 shifts. And that level of consistency between shifts happens because we're communicating between shifts. That means when you come in to relieve me and I'm getting ready to go home, this is what happened during the day. This is what you need to know. And also, these are the inmates I dealt with. This is how I handled those situations. So please, I told this inmate they're going to be locked down for the day. Please do not let that inmate out. You know what happened towards the end of my shift. So I'm hoping that you can help me enforce that rule and let them see that. Let the inmates see that, because that shows that we're connected. Because sometimes what happens, guys, if something happens at the end of our shift, maybe the officer that comes in after won't help us enforce that rule. And then that kind of shows that we're separated. That's why a lot of officers right now, sometimes they don't trust their partner or they don't trust the subsequent shift. So instead of hoping that, you know, if the inmate does something foolish, let's say you have to lock them down, instead of locking them down that day, if it crosses into another shift, they'll wait till the next day. They'll wait for the next day when they're on shift, because they know that when they're on that shift, that lockdown will happen. That inmate will go through whatever punitive concern had to happen because the inmate did something foolish. But again, consistency is important. Just wanted to pass that message. Being consistent with ourselves, being consistent with each other provides a great consistency to the agency, and it's just a great model to work on. So that's my version of why we need to be consistent. What's yours? All right, guys, stand by for that next video. It'll be coming out next week about being firm. All right, guys, stay safe. The show is on the line. Love you.